Welcome back to Azimotion. So in today's episode, we are going to implement a new feature where the player will be able to equip and unequip his weapon. So in the last episode, we got our animations from XMO, the weapon equip animation, and we were able to retarget this animation into Unreal default mannequin animations, right? So in this episode, first thing, I'm gonna add this into character. When the player performs, I'm gonna assign a key to equip and unequip. It will be a toggle. So then the animation will be played. So let's create an input action. Let's go to project settings. Here I'm gonna create a new input action called let's say weapon equip. Okay, I'm gonna use F key for now, and let's close this. Now next we can create a animation montage, and I'm gonna give this right. Now what we can do is go to our character BPAC base character blueprint, and I'm gonna remove this and add a attack, add a equip input action. So in here we have to have a way to track whether the player is equipped with the weapon or not. So I'm gonna add a new variable boolean unequipped boolean, and I'm gonna leave it as false, and let's negate this and set this like this. The toggle will work. It will set the opposite and execute. Teach press play montage node. And I'm gonna use this. And we can give this player skeleton let's hit play. Alright, I think our functionality works. Weapon equip and unequip, but if you closely look, there's something wrong with our character's finger. So let's go back to our retarget details and see if anything we have missed. Right, the right hand. Here we have assigned it as left hand. So all right, we have corrected that. Now we can retarget. And I'm gonna go to our let me delete these two, otherwise I won't be able to delete the version. That were with me. So I'm gonna delete this too. Save, and I'm gonna create any montage and add a body. Right. Now again we can go into this class element. Let's play and see. The issue is still there. Now the issue with the finger is gone. So yeah, that is it. So now we have done our basic setup where we can equip and unequip our weapon. So the next thing that you might notice is now by default, if we even play our equip and unequip animation, the player still is in the weapon equipped mode. So we need to change that in the animation states as well. So to do that, let's go to our animation blueprint. And I'm gonna if you go to animation graph and default state machine, you can see in the idle run state we have like the blend space that we created where the player is equipped with the weapon. But for the default locomotion, we don't need this weapon equipped blend space. So I'm gonna remove this and add the previous idle run blend space. Now if we hit play is in the default state. If we hit F, player goes back to player equips the weapon. So I'm gonna need to add a new state for this state machine. Let me copy this and I'm gonna rename this run equip, and in here I'm gonna use this animation instead of this. So but to do the transition we need to have a transition logic. To do that, animation blueprint needs to know whether the weapon is equipped or not. I'm gonna introduce that. Be weapon equipped, and we need to add the node to this here as well. But initially we need to we can check this weapon. If the weapon is equipped, we can go into this transition, and if not, we can go back to the default animations. But initially we need to set this up, set this weapon value. To do that, let's go into animation event graph. Here we can set our value. Let's get VP AC cast. Let's cast to this. I got the pawn. Let's reload this. Okay, let's from the pawn I can cast it into the character and can get the weapon equipped and set this blueprint weapon equipped. Let's rename this as this, so we can clearly identify and set here. Now on the animation blueprint, update this update, and in the animation graph they will check and go into relevant state. Okay, let's play and see. Okay, now the normal locomotion system works in this way. If you hit F, it plays a equipped animation, and if we hit F again, it goes back to this state. But if you can see, in the normal state, player can attack, so we don't want that to happen. So we can check before attack. If the player is equipped, and we can perform and boolean if the weapon is equipped and can attack only. They can attack. Alright. Now player cannot attack in this default mode even if I click the left. If we equip, the player can attack. Now if we go back, player cannot attack. But the weapon needs to follow the pattern that we expect. So that is the next thing that we need to do. To do that, let's rename this. Now we have commented that done properly. So yeah, the next thing is to create a weapon actor to actually the weapon will be a separate actor. Then we can have a lot of functionalities inside that actor instead of having a mesh here. So let's create a weapon actor. Okay, actor VP AZ I'm gonna name this as weapon actor. Weapon actor. So open the default blueprint. I'm gonna add a mesh here, mesh, static mesh. Open a label where we can see how we create the meshes inside this. Alright, now inside Azimotion Azim, you can create a materials folder and a meshes folder and open that, and I'm going to create a material folder and I'm going to just add constant for vector. And I think that is enough for now. I'm going to select this and create a geometry here, and we can change the parameters of the geometry using these values. We can do 2.4, I think. So we compare this with the character. 2.2, and I'm going to increase this to 12. and height I think we can reduce to 180, and I'm gonna create a static mesh. So in here, if you don't have a static mesh folder, create one, and I'm gonna name this SM staff day. If you go to meshes, a new static mesh is created. So, alright, now we have a static mesh. Next thing we can do is can go to blueprints, define actor, we can assign our static mesh. Assign our static mesh to this SM underscore staff. Right. Now we have this actor. BBAC weapon actor. I'm gonna rename this to easy staff base. Now we have a weapon actor with the basic static mesh. One thing we can add to here is collision capsule, and scale this like this. Alright, now we have added a capsule as well to detect collisions and things. Another thing we can change this capsule's collision settings to a custom collision setting. Block world, static world, dynamic, ignore pawn, so that will be useful. So we can change, we can choose what collision we need and what we don't with the custom collision settings. So we have set that up as well. Next, now if we go to our player, you can see a mesh attached to our player. So I'm gonna delete that. And next, I'm gonna spawn this weapon. So before that, we have to go into our skeletal mesh. I'm making skeleton tree, and I'm gonna remove all attached assets, and it removed all the attachment that we had. And I'm gonna remove this. Can go to mesh and remove this as well. I think this won't be a problem, but we have to create a weapon holster for the skeleton. So I'm gonna add a socket. Add socket. I'm gonna rename this as primary and primary weapon. And I'm gonna add a preview asset. sm underscore staff a, and let me handle this. Okay, later we can change this project as well. Okay, now with that setup, now we can spawn our weapon into player's hand. To do that, in this event graph, the begin play, I need to add a two sockets actually. One I'm gonna add a scene components. Scene component, I'm gonna name this stuff in hand. Okay, so top in hand, and I'm gonna parent this to primary weapon socket, and we need another socket as well, so we have to create that as well. Inside the character, skeleton, I'm gonna use spine 2, spine 3, and I'm gonna add a socket. I'm gonna name this primary weapon holster, and I'm gonna add a preview asset to this as well. Add a preview asset, sim underscore static. So let's align this as a let's keep it as this. We can all right, now that we have this weapon attached to the back, the weapon holster for the back, weapon holster socket for the back, we can create a scene component for that as well. So let's create a new scene component, not under this, delete this one, under this mesh, scene component. I'm gonna name this as staff holster, and parent it to the primary weapon holster. All right, now we have two same components. Let's go to event graph, and in the begin play, I'm gonna get staff holster, so get so it's a transform. I'm gonna name this primary. We should use the same name as in the skeleton. This, and I'm gonna spawn our class, the weapon class, VP AC staff base, and I'm gonna ignore collision and always spawn ignore collisions. So I'm gonna spawn the weapon in our character's hand, right? And I'm gonna create a variable to hold this staff, and I'm gonna set it here, so then we can reuse the same stuff. I'm gonna check solid to make sure, and then I'm gonna attach this actor to the component. And we name this keep world, keep world. Now if we play without this, we have this animation. Let's spawn the weapon and see. Now we have a weapon attached to the back, and if we hit F, it doesn't deattach, and so we have to implement that as a. So I'm gonna comment this. Here, and we can modify this to attach and deattach the weapon. So now we have this weapon equipped. We can attach this actor to component, same as keep world, we have to give the hand socket primary weapon, as I can remember. Let's double check this again. Let's double check this. Yes, primary weapon holster. Okay, I'm gonna use primary weapon here, and in below primary weapon holster. Because we are gonna switch this. Keep everything is set, and now I can use the staff. And I can use the holster staff in hand here, and staff holster here. I think since the animation needs to be played, we have to delay this. Okay, let's keep it as it now. Let's just see how it goes. If not, we can add a delay, because this animation is playing for 1 second. You can see the effect then. And I'm gonna get the get socket transform primary weapon. I don't know whether this naming is making sense, but we should have used something like weapon in hand or something. But anyway, let's go with this. Set actor transform. Let's set this actor's transform to the socket location. We can do similarly to the holster as well. Alright, I think now we can I think we should add that delay delay the animation is nearly 1 second, so we can add that as okay. That's it. Okay, now the only thing that we need to worry about is the proper syncing of, if you can see these animations and the weapon, it's really noticeable when putting back. Can improve this. So the basic weapon equipment functionality is completed, as you can see. Let's fix that as the putting back. So there are many ways we can do that. We can go to the skeleton and change the holster a little bit to match the animation. I think we should do at least some level. Okay. I think let's try this values. The only thing we can do for now, so we'll have to deal with the animation and everything to get the correct feeling. Now it's somewhat fine. Okay, since it takes time to like get this right, I'm gonna jump into the next thing that we need to do, which is we can like add some hit uh, events, then we can done with the basic weapon equip and unequip uh, setup. Actually, the weapon equip setup is now almost finished. To give it a more uh, let's add some 6 objects. And right, hit play. Now that we have these objects, I'm gonna resize them. Okay, now that we have that objects, we can add some logic to our stuff. So this is just to give an idea how we can use this actor, the weapon actor, to do different things. Later on we will have to add some more complex complex behaviors. So I'm going to select this capsule, if you can remember, of the weapon, and I'm gonna use on component hit capsule, and check is similar. Is similar to physics. If simulating physics, we can add some impulse to that object. Break it result. I'm gonna get validity of this current actor, and multiply it, and we can get the location of the hit, and we can provide that, and we can provide the impulse. So this should we can and adding pass. So this is just to test. Let's equip. Okay, the collision presets are alright. Save. Here I have to activate in the generate hit event, generate all events as well. Then it should be working. Let's add a print there. We need to have to enable the collision here. Let's see. Yeah. We have to adjust these boxes, otherwise they will fall in. Now we can hit play. Yeah. So I think we was able to complete weapon equip, unequip functionality, and with unequip player cannot attack. So I think that is it for today's tutorial. So then let's meet in a new video with the new feature of Azimotion. Alright, I think that is the end of the video. So don't forget to subscribe and put your questions in the comment section and hit the bell icon to get notified with our new videos. Then up until then, see you.